Which headphone? Can you shut the door, please?
The wind's blowing. Hold on.
Yeah.
Where's the...
It is very warm here again in the UK, so we have the window open. You might want to shut the window a tiny bit as well, because it's out
I'm up
quite
and
high.
down and up.
Hello guys, and welcome back to another
No.
reaction.
Do it again.
What?
That doesn't work. I was in front of the camera.
Hello guys, and welcome back to another Dabble the Reaction.
This is our other channel, a relaunch from the channel. I don't know why I'm putting the headphone in already. The relaunch of the channel that we made in January. It is reactions and more, as the title may suggest. We are talking reactions, of course, but we're also going to be doing some cooking. We're going to be doing some news. We're going to be talking topics, which is a bit like news. We're going to be doing some eating, if you're me. We're going to be doing some games, and we're going to do languages from all around the world. So get your comments below, or send them over to our Instagram at Dabble and Travel.
Why did you pause
I was just holding the hand there like that.
That was so
at
awkward.
Dabble and Travel. Yeah, but today we are reacting to something that's been suggested to us a few times, but I think it's more apparent now, more
relevant.
fitting with everything that's going on in America at the moment and the tragedy that has happened. This definitely links in with that in terms of our reactions, because we're doing a lot of reactions that are Filipino based. Of course, we've travelled there for a lot of time. We've been recommended to react to African Americans in Filipino history, because we've seen a lot of Filipinos voicing their concern of what is happening in America and standing with a lot of the Americans that are protesting peacefully. We want everyone to be protesting peacefully. That is the best way to get any sort of results in these situations, is to protest peacefully. But I think African Americans in Filipino history, it definitely has a place, like, it's really relevant
in
now.
history, yeah. And this is a very tricky subject. We know that. We are just going to be reacting to this video. If you want to watch the original video, I will put it in the description.
We're not going to talk politics or anything, or anything that's going on in America. I think we all know what happened was wrong, but I just think this video is very fitting now, especially with Filipinos voicing their concern of what's happening.
Definitely.
So we'll give it a go.
We will give it a go. We're trying things that are new, and we're trying to do what you guys recommend. So anything else, and make sure you do what he said. I'm not going to repeat it.
Either that or that.
In Kapampangan, Luwid kayo. The month of February is celebrated as Black History Month here in the United States. So today, let us learn more about the heroic African Americans and the Philippine-American War and the Filipino struggle for independence.
Didn't know they were related.
At number 1, if you're not familiar with it, the Philippine-American War was a bloody war and genocide that immediately followed the romanticized Spanish-American War. And according to Bishop Henry M. Turner, the Philippine-American War that began in 1899 was an unholy war of conquest. At number 2, during the war, all African-American cavalries and black infantry regiments were sent to the Philippines to fight against the Filipino revolutionaries and their struggle for independence. Many African-Americans felt that fighting in the war would reflect favorably and enhance their
so they really didn't want to,
the United
but
States.
had to.
And the American government at that time also believed that African-Americans were immune to tropical diseases. This belief was unfounded and was solely based on their racism against black and brown people. At number 3, many in the black community were vocal in their opposition against the US invasion and occupation of the Philippines. Many of their newspaper articles and their leaders, such as journalist and early civil rights movement leader Ida B. Wells Barnett, supported the idea of Philippine independence. They strongly argued against the United States subjugating non-white people and against the beginnings of American imperialism. The African-American community understood very well the similarities of their struggle with that of the people of the Philippines.
So they're forced to fight people they didn't want to fight.
And it was not only the African-Americans who understood this interconnected struggle. The Filipino revolutionaries also exposed black soldiers in the Philippines with propaganda to discourage them from being the instruments of white supremacy against another color. They addressed the similarities of lynching and racial discrimination in the United States with the violence and the bloodbath that the Americans were unleashing in the Philippines. And as a result,
so raw, isn't it?
5, many African American soldiers defected and joined the Filipino revolutionaries. These black soldiers were welcomed and were well respected within the Filipino movement for independence. Perhaps the most well-known of them was Private David Fagan, who would later become Captain Fagan in the Philippine Revolutionary Army.
No way.
Captain Fagan became so successful in fighting the American soldiers that the US government would later place a highly priced bounty on his head. The sentiments of African American soldiers
he was
in
so
the Philippines is summed up in
He
this
defected. He fought for what was
Middleton
right.
W. Sadler, who wrote, "We are now arrayed to meet a common foe. Men of our own hue and color. Whether it is right to reduce these people to submission is not a question for soldiers to decide. Our oaths of allegiance know neither race, color, nor nation." And another black soldier wrote, "The white man's prejudice followed to the Philippines, 10,000 miles from where it originated." In summary, black American soldiers felt closer sympathy and stood in solidarity with the brown people in their struggle, their common struggle, against white imperialism. So now what?
Crazy.
Given the current social and political climate here in the United States, it is crucial for us Filipino Americans
how old
to
is this
stand
video?
in solidarity with other
We'll find out after, but now it's more relevant than ever.
African Americans had once shed blood to fight for our people's independence, for our freedom. It is only just and right that we stand beside them as they fight to be recognized and be respected as human beings in this land of the free. Because we, people of color, immigrants, refugees, minorities, we all deserve to be treated with dignity and with regard for our basic human rights. And that is it for me today. To learn more about this topic, check out the links.
Okay.
So relevant. I didn't think it'd be that relevant in the end.
This video was in 2017, and secondly, it's still relevant today.
Even
after,
more so.
What year was that happened, did he say? I can't remember what year he said it was.
1899 to 90, so over 100 years ago, and it's still maybe even more relevant today.
And it's still going on. The same thing is happening. The same things are being said.
Yep, same things being done, and it even said there how the Filipinos will stand with the movement and want to support anyone in America. We've had and seen a lot of Filipinos sending messages out to America, doing their own peaceful protests at home, as you can in the Philippines. Obviously it's going to be hard at the moment with the coronavirus going on, but they're sending their messages of support and standing with them. And I just thought this video, I've had it recommended a few times.
It's very fitting.
But now it's very fitting.
All over your social media you will be seeing this movement that's happening, the protests that are going on, and you know, we couldn't help but
react to this today. I just feel like it's so relevant today, and to see that African American soldiers actually defected to become Filipino soldiers because they knew what they were fighting for was wrong, which is crazy. Which just shows now the Philippines want to pay that back and pay their respects back.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's just very.
It's a hard subject, isn't it? It's a really hard subject to talk about. We all know what's going on. Change needs to happen. We know that. But yeah, thank you for recommending it. Thank you for recommending it. Give below your opinions on it, what you think.
It's a very horrible thing to have to
how can
about.
it change? Give your opinions on ways that it can change. Send your messages of support. That's what a lot of Filipinos are doing, so keep sending your messages of support. And like you see there, African Americans were with Filipinos, the Filipinos are now with African Americans, which is very good to see. I'm just lost for words. It's really
but
thank you for recommending it.
Difficult.
Thank you for recommending it. It's very different again. Like we said, this channel is going to be a bit of everything. It's going to be serious. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be funny. It's going to be me eating a lot of food. Yeah. That's
Matt
what it's going to be.
I really want to start cooking.
Yeah.
So get your
maybe even from this week. Maybe even from this week. So
somebody's actually sent me a really nice sisig recipe, which sounds amazing. The only thing that I am slightly worried about is that we don't have this like a sizzling pot. So like
we'll have to buy a sizzling pot.
I'm going to look to see where I can get it from. And now that the lockdown has been eased as of today, the 1st of June, it's been eased to the point where we are actually allowed to see other people.
And get more food.
Other shops are open, so we might even be able to go to the special World Food Shops.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So I'm excited.
Keep recommendations coming, and we will keep
reacting, discussing.
Hopefully cooking, hopefully eating. We'll keep doing them. Hopefully everyone's staying safe. It looks like there is light at the end of the tunnel in this pandemic. Our restrictions are being locked. Let us know where you are in the world and how you're getting on. And if you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe, drop us a like,
and keep on dabbling.
Told you that was a good one to do.